Hey guys, how are you guys doing today? And welcome back to my channel. Okay, so this video is going to be about the important facts you need to know on how to manifest your desires and bring what you want into your life. Now, this isn't going to make a lick of sense if you don't watch my video on the magic of believing, manifesting your desires, and the other video, my second video on this topic, how to use negative energy to your benefit. I also have a story about one of the successes I've had in doing this, and it's about my magic umbrella right here. So if you really want to hear that story, please listen to the end of the video. Now, if I've got your attention and you have watched those other two videos, which I will leave in the description box below, and you're interested or curious about what I have to say, please keep watching. Okay, so let's begin. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is taking responsibility. You have to take responsibility for your life. Unfortunately, it's not your parents' fault. It's not the government's fault. It's not the president's fault. It's nobody's fault. Take responsibility for your life. This is the first step in bringing yourself what you need. All you need is this. All you need is this. Your feelings, your mouth, the things that you say, your feelings, and everything you think is what brings you what you have. It's the culmination of your life, and that's why your life is the way it is. So take responsibility for your life. Accept that your circumstances are because of what you've been feeling and thinking and saying for pretty much your whole life. Another point is acknowledge broken agreements. This is so important. You have to acknowledge broken agreements. And what I mean by that, have you ever invited a friend for coffee and then ditched or never called them? Have you ever made plans with someone and really thought better of it later and never called them to say that you couldn't make it? All of these things are broken agreements, and it keeps you from moving forward. Now, again, I do apologize. I've read so much material and I've listened to so many tapes and I've, done so much research that I don't remember exactly who or where I got this information from. But believe me, it is a very, very important fact that you must acknowledge your broken agreements, and you have to go as far back as you can to acknowledge these broken agreements. And let's see, how can I further explain it? Let's say you were 10 years old. Because really, you're supposed to go as far back as you can remember. So even when you were 10 and you promised Billy or Jane that you would go to their house and spend the night, you guys made plans, parents talked, and then it never happened and you never heard anything. Go back and acknowledge, you know what? Oh, wow, I could have asked my mom, I could have asked my dad about this situation. I'm sorry, and I acknowledge it. Basically, that's it. That's all you have to do to get it out of your system, out of your conscience, and just take care of the guilt that you're feeling regarding any broken agreements. Okay, so moving on. Now, when someone makes you angry, and I know we've all been there, someone brings you to the cliff's edge where you want to get a Louisville Slugger and just make their head disappear. Yeah, we've all been there. This is one thing that I practiced the first time I did it. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. It was an obstacle and a challenge, but I overcame it. It wasn't an issue, it wasn't a problem, it wasn't a worry of mine. I just knew I had to do it. Basically, when you're faced with this anger and this resentment and this hate that you have towards someone, this is what you need to do. And you don't have to do it to them. No one has to know you're doing this. You don't have to say it to them. Say it to yourself in your mind. Supposed to look at this person or think of this person and say, I love you, I'm sorry I've made you angry, and go in peace. Pretty much. That's what you need to do anytime someone takes you over the edge where you just want to kill them. Why? Because if you harbor the bad feelings, if you harbor the bad thoughts, if you continue to radiate anger and hate and just all these negative emotions, guess what? They walk away with a bunch of horrible things that are about to happen to them because they hate you, and you are going to get more of the same. So you not only has that situation not been fixed, but you are going to experience more people, more situations, and more of everything that those feelings bring to you. So if you can cut that off, not only is it a relief, I've done it, it's a tremendous relief, weight off your shoulders, and you can move on. And that person will be seething and suffering the effects of their thoughts and their feelings and what they've said to you, and you're fine. Don't let someone take your power. Just don't let them do it. Another one is don't let people put rats in your head. Don't let people make you feel bad. People have opinions. Hey, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got them, right? So sometimes opinions are not all bad. Or I should say, they could be helpful to you. Listen to what people have to tell you. Take it with a grain of salt. If it can improve you, great. If not, let it go and just disconnect them. Okay, the next one. Don't share your biggest dreams with everyone. Have your few people that you trust. The fewer the better. If you trust one person, then, obviously as human beings, we're people of we have to share, and we want to share, and we want to share our joy and our secrets and everything else. But if you can, don't share your dreams and your goals and everything that you have planned with just everyone, because that kind of puts a damper and it makes it harder for you to get where you're going. Why? Because people's emotions and feelings can't control you, but they can affect you, and they can have they can persuade. It's the power of persuasion. So you don't want to give your heart or open your heart to just anyone. Okay. Now, as you know, through your beliefs, you form your reality. So your faith, whatever you believe to be true, is going to form your reality. So if you believe that you're never going to get anywhere because you don't have an education, that's true. If you believe, hey, I don't have an education, but things are going to work out for me and I'm going to get to where I need to go, that's true too. So just please keep that in mind when you're doing this. It's not the how that's important. It's not where it's coming from that's important. It's important that you believe that things are going to be fine. And you can go about your day singing, humming, doing the things that make you happy. That's basically it. You just have to believe that through your beliefs you form your reality. And I don't think that could be more true of a statement. Okay, the next one. Be happy even if you're not. Be happy even if you're not. This was a fact that I read and I was just like, oh my gosh. They told me to it basically told me to make believe. Make believe you're happy. Go through the motions. Why? Because you are what you think about most of the time. You are what you think about most of the time. So imagine you just go about the motions of being happy, treating people like you would want to be treated, even though you're not feeling well, even though you're depressed, even though your boyfriend left you, even though your husband left you, even though you're having issues in your relationships with your family, with your friends, and nothing seems to be going right. Be happy. Be happy now. Why? Because the better you feel each and every day, the better your future is, the better things you will bring to you. And that is the truth. That is so true. And I know it's a challenge and it's an obstacle, but you can overcome it. So remember, be happy now. Okay, and if you're wondering why I'm looking down, I do have my list of points that I don't want to miss any one. Okay, and forgiveness. Forgiveness has to be a big part of this. You have to be able to forgive people who have done you wrong, people who you know are absolutely dead wrong. Forgive them. Forgive them and put them in a warm, loving light and just send them away with love and with hope that one day you'll get an apology. Most people don't get anything, but forgive and just let it go. Don't give up your power. Forgive. Another one is clean eating. I know clean eating is very expensive, but it's very, very important because this is the engine that's going to bring to you everything you desire. So if you want your mind and you want your thoughts and you want to feel better, clean eating is very important. Now, obviously, not everyone can afford organic food, but there are some things you can do, and I mentioned them in my 2 previous videos. And again, I'll leave those videos in the description box below so that Hopefully you'll watch those as well, and all of this will make sense to you. Okay, EMF stickers. EMF stands for electromagnetic frequency disruptors, and I have them everywhere. You want to have one on your TVs, especially the HD TVs now that just let out a lot of electromagnetic frequency, and it interrupts yours. It actually blocks yours. So in order to kind of make it a wash, you have to have these stickers everywhere. You can get them on eBay, you can get them on Amazon, you can get them almost anywhere. And this is what they look like. I'm going to show you on my phone. They all look different. I actually have ones that look like the Transformers, and I have one on my TV, I have one on my refrigerator, I have one on my iPad, on my computers, and this is the one I have on my iPhone. If you can see, mine is gold, and anytime I use my phone, it allows none of those harmful electromagnetic frequencies to interfere, because I carry this all the time. So it doesn't interfere with me or my thoughts or my energy. And it also protects from all the cell towers and everything else that you have going off around you, especially at work when you're in front of your computer. Okay, now, dream building. You want to do this at least once a week. Dream building consists of getting white pieces of paper, so any notebook paper, any printer paper will do as long as it's white, and you want to always have blue ink on hand. So even if you're feeling at your worst, and this is an exercise that is in the book, Ask and It Is Given by Jerry, I believe Jerry and Esther Hicks. This book is fantastic. So if you're really, really doing this, if you read that book, it gives you all kinds of things to do to make you feel better. And this is the one thing I do almost every day. I get white paper, I get blue ink, and I just start writing. So let's say, for instance, you're feeling really depressed, you think you're ugly, you think you're useless, you think you're unsuccessful. Start writing. I am successful. I am beautiful. I am wonderful. I am this, I am that, whatever it is that you would never, ever, ever say to yourself, write it down over and over and over again. Why? Because you can't feel sad and happy at the same time. You can't have faith and not have faith at the same time. When you're doing this exercise, you're in a state of belief. You have faith. It's like magic. So for those 2.5 minutes is how you should be controlling your thoughts and what you say and what you think at a time, because it's a magical time frame and it equates to thousands of hours of physical activity. And believe me when I say that was really hard for me to believe, but it is true. So if you're practicing controlling your thoughts and your emotions and what you say on a daily basis, this will definitely just catapult you and help you, and you will see the positive things coming into your life even faster. And last but not least, don't compare yourself. If you're trying to be successful, you're trying to get somewhere in your life, don't compare yourself to whoever it is in the field that you want to be in is the most famous. Like, okay, if you want to be an actor and you just started out, you can't compare yourself to Arnold Schwarzenegger or Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie. Come on. Even they had somewhere where they started. You always have to compare yourself to the person you could have been. So just remember that going forward, and you're starting from scratch. You need to compare yourself to the person you could have been, not the person you see that has struggled and worked for years to get to where they've gotten to. So please keep that in mind. And those are the ends of all, this is actually the end of all the points that I wanted to make. So I hope that helped you out, and I hope you've watched my other 2 videos, because again, none of this information will make sense without watching those 2 videos. And last but not least, I am going to tell you the story about this umbrella. So one day, it was a very rainy couple days, and I went to grab my umbrella because for once I checked the weather report and it was going to rain. Well, I had no umbrellas. All my umbrellas were broken or not working or had holes in them. So I freaked out and I started worrying, oh my God, how am I going to do this? I had not $1 to my name to get an umbrella. And I was like, I stopped in my tracks. I stopped all the negativity. I stopped wondering how or when. And I said, you know what? I don't know when. Don't know how I'm going to get this umbrella, but I'm going to get it. And I made up my mind right then and there. I said, you know what? I don't only want an umbrella. I want a mini umbrella, and I want a name brand umbrella. So it lasts for a while, and I won't have to worry about, carrying a huge umbrella. It'll be mini. I can just throw it in my purse, and I'll have it for a really long time. So I went to work, and as I was on my way to work, because it takes me about an hour to get to work, my frame of mind was nothing but positive. I started thinking about what this new umbrella would do for me, how it would make me feel, what I could possibly have on it. Did you know that there are umbrellas that protect you from UV light from the sun? I didn't know that. I just started looking, scrolling through eBay and Amazon. Oh my gosh. And I started saving all these different umbrellas that I was seeing on the app. And I was like, yes, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to be the cutest one standing in the rain, waiting for my bus or my train with a beautiful flowered umbrella. And these are the thoughts that I had all the way to work. So when I got to work, I started my day as normal, and I figured, you know, that it was really slow. I would do more than I needed to do. So I went up to the front. There's an area where clients walk through, and I decided to sweep. Now, that's not part of my job description, but I said, you know what, I'm just going to do this today. For my benefit, it'll be cleaner, it'll feel nicer for the clients, so I decided to do that. And there's a radiator in that front area. And guess what I found? This umbrella. Coincidence? I don't think so. I made up my mind that not only did I want a mini umbrella, which that's what this is. It is a name brand Eddie Bauer umbrella. Not sure if you can see that. Sorry, the light. But it is an Eddie Bauer umbrella. This thing is strong as an ox, and it's going to last me forever. And I've had it for about a year now. So yeah, you can bring things into your life. And I know you probably are saying, oh, it's a coincidence. Well, again, your reality is what you believe. So if you want to believe that, that's perfectly fine. But I know what I believe. And I know that I can have, be, and do anything I want. And so can you. So this is the end of my video. A sub equals some love. A like equals a hug. And until my next video, I'll see you later.